This is going to be short and sweet. If you want to see the detail of what I'm thinking, what I'm looking at, and the call that I made, I'm saying we bottomed, go watch my last video. I went into great length and detail. The video's long because I went through everything. If you want to see the signals, go watch that video. I have to show you that, again, I think my convictions about the bottom being on Friday for the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are being confirmed. Signal we got on Saturday. I'll show you that in just a moment. Again, I believe that we've had this 5-leg push lower to complete this A, B, C move in this larger WXY pattern to complete wave 4. Okay, I believe that we had wave 3 over here when I called the top on the 20th, the day of the top, told you we were going to get a sell-off. If we got a higher low, wave 4 finished over here. If we took it out, then wave 4 is going to finish down here. Told you we got this bullish triple divergence. It was a bearish divergence that marked the top. This is likely marking the bottom, as I've talked about in my last update in great length and detail. Now with this rally, we had a 7% sell-off. I posted Bitcoin's bottoming before the rebound ever took place. I told you that on social media, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Charting Prodigy, posted the chart of the collapse, and again, that Bitcoin was forming a bottom. And was validated with the reversal that I predicted would happen. Again, the bottoming tail surrounding the 100 period, which I've been talking about, a bottom developing around the 100, and I told you it could form with a bullish bottoming tail, which we did get. So again, here the bullish divergence giving us the bullish MACD. We'll see what happens next week with the tariffs. And I told you I think we're forming this possible inverse head and shoulders pattern. If we do pull back, you can throw back and get a higher low and back test a breakout. Again, you have a possible inverse head and shoulders under construction. You can see it really good here on the hourly chart. Again, we had the 50-50 sell signal back here in the hourly time frame, and now we have the bullish 50-50 signal. We got back above the 50 period. We went into positive territory. Talked about all of this in my last update. Again, how we were seeing the RSI move into positive territory. We could still pull back and get a higher low. If we have bottomed, we form a divergence with this low, then we go down and we hit that trend line that I talked about in my last update. Go watch the video. But again, the bullish divergences are giving us this rebound, and possibly an inverse head and shoulders is setting up. With our log scaling, we dropped below the 200 period, got back above, dropped below this trend line and got back above it. This is our log scaling right here, this trend line going all the way back right here, excluding the shadow right here. And again, down to the August low there. Again, I talked about the trend lines. You got one right here with the log scaling, excluding the shadow, right here, excluding that shadow. And we dropped below it, and then we got right back above it with the bottoming tail below our 200 period moving average. With the linear scaling, we're bouncing off this trend line from the higher low that's set up to this low right here, another higher low, and those are pointing up to this area. We dip below them, and we're bouncing off of that area. We close below the 200 period, and we end up dropping below this low, directly below. We have the blue trend line right here and horizontal support, that 74 to 77,000 area. We hit 78,000, and we bounced off of this trend line, slightly excluding the shadow right here. So again, going to be watching to see if we now bottomed. My guess is we've bottomed. Again, talked about the divergences that have given us a sell-off, and then we busted support. We'll be watching to see if we could recycle back up. Again, if we have bottomed with the bottoming tail, we're likely headed up to this resistance area, and we have the downward trend line and the gap fill with the Bitcoin ETF. We've got a little tiny divergence that developed right here with our low at the 200 period. Again, I talked about that sell-off, 7% sell-off, and I told you we were likely going to see a rebound and form a bottom. As we were doing that, having that sell-off, we were forming triple bullish diversions, and I posted all this well before the rebound ever happened on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's your 100 period in the trend line, which are going to be resistance, but again, we'll be watching. Do we get a pullback? Is there more work to be done here? If we end up going lower, again, trend lines, longer term trend lines from the 2023 low directly below. On Saturday, Bitcoin dropped, and we've just now started the Sunday session, or Bitcoin rallied, I should say. Bitcoin rallied by 2%, confirming this bar. Now we need a follow through. We'll see if we get a pullback or not. But again, we're getting back above the lower Bollinger Band now. That's a positive sign of a bottom. So again, we'll be watching. Right now, for the Sunday session, we're up 0.33%. It's still early in the session. We just started it. But again, this support is now resistance. And again, I told you the 10 and 20 are going to be down here, and then we'll see if we can get back above them. If we do, you want to be watching the 50 and the 100 and the declining trend line. But I think you're going to come back up in here to recover. You'll probably see an inverse head and shoulders, get some kind of pullback at some point to test this low, but I think it will likely hold. So this is what I'm watching. We had a drop of 28.5%, it looks like. Yeah, 28.5% from this decline here from the January 20th top. Bitcoin loses the 200 period moving average and this bottoming tail. You do have Bitcoin's average price directly below at the horizontal support at that 74,000 area. My guess is that Bitcoin is bottom. You've got the tariffs next week, so do we have more volatility with that? What happens? I think we bottomed. I'm making the video to show you this signal right here. We had the bottoming tail, and again, I told you as we were selling off 7% for the Friday session, I told you I thought that was a bottom. Posted that on social media, and then right after made the video, and again, we are attempting a recovery. I told you I thought that was a bottom. Now, again, we got this bottoming signal here and here. So again, it's suggesting that a bottom forming. Now, we got that over here, and it was a counter trend just going sideways, but we got it over here. These bottoming signals, that gave us this rally, and we got it right here. And again, this larger trading range. But right here is what happened is we got these signals here at the bottoming tail, very similar to what we had over here, very similar to what we had in January. After in January, that was confirmed. Well, the momentum line quickly turned and go up and make new highs at 109,000. Then we got our topping signals for momentum. But right here, again, you're getting this bullish buy signal, and then now you're getting this bottoming signal right here. So again, now this signal is still, it may go away because if we pull back, that may get canceled out. The session is not over yet. It could complete by the end of the Sunday session, but it's still too early to know if that's going to happen. You have the entire session nearly ahead of us here, just very early on right now. Again, we just closed just a little bit ago with the base session, but I wanted to make you aware of this signal because, again, it looks like I'm going to probably be proven correct that we have a bottom here with our bottoming tail, and we're now seeing these bullish bottoming signals that are taking place. Yeah, I thought we bottomed. I have the guts to tell you what I think. Do the previous week that we were going to bottom this week, and I thought it could be Tuesday or Wednesday. We took out the Wednesday low. We took out that Wednesday low, and we bottomed on Friday, went a little bit lower than that Wednesday low. But again, I told you I thought we would bottom this week, and I think that, and again, the week's not over until the Sunday close, so we'll see what happens. Again, if we get a rally up or a pullback and then a rally up, you got to start turning these signals, these trending signals, and the momentum line, which is short-term momentum, you got to flip that back to bullish. But again, it still pull back and get an inverse head and shoulders, as I showed you on the intraday chart. The balance of power is still bearish, the signals are still bearish, but we're getting warning signs that, hey, a bottom could be forming, and we got confirmation to the bottoming tail. It's still a red bar, but it was a positive 2% close, likely validating a bottoming tail and a reversal at our 200 period moving average. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? Making the video, short video today. Go back and watch my last video. I went into a lot of detail, stuff you need to know, but the things that I told you about, I think, are now being confirmed with these bottoming signals here, and now this signal here. We'll see if this one holds, but again, I'm getting bottoming signals as I predicted that bottom for this week. And as I told you on Friday, I made the video very early, and I told you as we are just starting to rally up there that again, I believe that Bitcoin is bottomed. Bitcoin's going to go make new highs. Wanted to show you these signals because, again, we are getting bullish bottoming signals here surrounding our 200 period moving average, as I thought we would. I talked about that. I thought we'd see more and more signals turn bullish surrounding the 200 period moving average. Talked about the bullish divergence that is forming with momentum here. And again, we're still in negative territory, but you've got this bullish divergence. And I told you I thought that would develop a bottom here. And now we are seeing that. We talked about this at great length and detail. Now we're seeing this bullish divergence form this possible bottom right here, which I believe it likely is a bottom. And that's what I've been saying since Friday, that Bitcoin has bottomed. Called it on the with the 7% sell-off before the rally ever happened, because I believe that we're completing the 5-leg push lower, as I've been showing in my charts. We've seen in the 4-hour time frame, I showed you the Elliott wave count. I wanted to take the time to make you aware of that. Hey, I could be right. We're seeing bullish bottoming signals here for Bitcoin in the daily. In my last update, I already told you that we had the bullish signals that were taking place here at the in the 4-hour time frame, and again, momentum flipped back to bullish. We're seeing the cloud turn back to bullish here. You got these buy signals going on down here. You got the background turning back to bullish, the bars turning back to a green, reflecting the shift in momentum. And then again, you're probably going to see an inverse head and shoulders pattern develop here, and we could see a pullback to give us a right shoulder and a back test of the breakout of the trend line. So again, told you about these bullish signals in the 4-hour time frame, and now they're showing up. Now the bullish buy signals are showing up in the daily time frame. We already had them here in the 4-hour time frame. The little B there is showing for a bottom. Now you get these with the counter trends, and again, buy signals usually show up in the bottoming process, which we had one over here for a potential right shoulder. Here's the head formation, and again, maybe for a left shoulder, and then for a right shoulder, if we decide to pull back and form that bottoming pattern. I think it's very possible. These signals are just amazing, and again, I think it's validating what I've been telling you about the Elliott wave count, which again, quickly, I just showed you the Elliott wave count in great length and detail in my last update. I believe we've completed wave 4 right here. Okay, wave 3 over here, and I think you're going to get this 5-leg push up. I think Bitcoin's going to head towards 135,000. So again, I think we bottomed. I think we're going to get a massive rally back up. It could be surrounding tax cuts. We're going to have the crypto summit at the White House next week. So again, this could move the market. The Trump administration is hosting the first ever White House Crypto Summit. The crypto community could get really excited about this. If we see another pause with the tariffs with Canada and Mexico or something, or rally on another catalyst, this could be of the movement on Bitcoin next week. There could be a lot of excitement surrounding this. I wanted to update you on all that. Don't forget to support the channel with the link directly below. Bitcoin's going to 135,000. Go watch my last video. A lot of stuff I did not cover in this video that I covered in my last video that you need to see.